Hi, I'm Eddie of Eddie's Reef Aquaria. Today's video is going to be on the Palythoa Grandis. It's a type of Zoanthus, but it's a little bigger. So people that follow me know what I do. I go ahead, I do my research through different resources through Google, and then I go ahead and I share it with all of you out there. I hope you enjoyed the video, you find it interesting, but before, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, and smash that notification icon. So let's take a deep dive into it and check it out. Okay, so here we are focused at the actual coral. And let me tell you, I got this coral not too long ago, and my lord, it's starting to open up more and expand. And behind it, there's 3 other little polyps. Now, these guys, when they acclimate, they're happy and all that, I mean, they'll start to spread like the daisy corals, the club polyps that I have on the left-hand side. So, okay, let's get into it. Well, first of all, these are called green Palythoa Grandis. Not just they are Palythoa Grandis, but these are actually the green Palythoas. You have cinnamon color and you have the green colors. Okay, now, as I briefly mentioned on the intro, this is of the family of Zoanthus. In other words, they are soft corals and they're found in depth of between 2 to 4 meters. Now, they're easy to care for, thus becoming a favorite for beginners in the reef hobby. Now, as I mentioned briefly, when properly acclimated to its new environment, they will tend to spread and grow rapidly, which I happen to notice. I mean, they haven't started to spread yet, but I did happen to notice that the head that you're looking at, it was more crumbled up, but now it's expanding and expanding and expanding. So now we're going to go into feeding these type of corals, remembering that it is of the family of Zoanthus. So what I'm going to talk about this is basically the same thing when it comes to keeping zoos. Okay, so feeding, they gain most of their daily nutritional requirements through the photosynthetic activity of their symbiotic algae known as zooxanthellae, but also absorb nutrients and dissolve organic matter from the water column, like, let's say, fish poop, and also feed from captured plankton, like Zoanthus. They also benefit from occasional feedings with finely chopped, like frozen foods, like, let's say, mysis shrimp, which I feed daily to this reef, to the fish, zooplankton additives, or dust foods. That will also help these corals to thrive. So when I say that, we're talking about like what I feed, like for Phyto Feast on Mondays. Then on Wednesday, I feed the reefroids with amino acids. And then on Fridays, I feed the oyster feast, also by Reef Nutrition. Now, they are considered hardy, thus forgiving to less optimal water parameters and lighting conditions. So if you have like a swing on DKH or pH and a little swing on temperature, they are very hardy corals, so you shouldn't have any issues when it comes to considering that they are very hardy corals. Now, when it comes to placement, well, these corals can be placed at any quadrant of your reef aquarium. You can place them on the lower, middle, or upper quadrant. What you're seeing here, he's more or less on the middle quadrant. And when it comes to lighting, they're able to cope with moderate to high light intensities. So besides that, you can also, I've seen them on different videos and different YouTubers. I've seen him in the lower quadrant, but really, I would say middle to higher, shooting more towards middle quadrant. And now let's talk about flow. Well, when it comes to flow, they are able to accept moderate as well as high and turbulent water flows. However, keep in mind and observe the coral that strong currents directly towards the colonies may cause the polyps to actually stay closed. So Like for instance, when I purchased this frag, and you know it comes out of the water, of course, and I put it here. They look like little buttons when they're closed, but then you know when they open up, it's what you're looking at now. But yeah, do keep an eye on the flow. I have the MP10 at 20%, and I have it on Reef Crest mode, and I'm observing it, and it's happy. It's not problematic when it comes to that. Now, I'm going to talk heavy on the toxicity of these corals, the Palythoas, because this is very important and you have to be careful. Okay, so some Zoanthus species, especially those in the genera of Palythoa and Photopalythoa, can be highly toxic for humans. These Zoanthus may secrete what's called polytoxin, one of the most toxic organic substances in the world, or Photopalythoa species. Species of Zoanthus genus are generally considered to be rather harmless. At least there is no known case of serious intoxication caused by Zoanthus species. Nevertheless, since it is difficult for the average hobbyist to distinguish Zoanthus, Palythoa, and Photopalythoa species from each other, you should always handle Zoanthus species with proper caution. When touching them or removing them from your tank, you should always wear protective gloves and goggles. Wash your hands thoroughly afterwards and avoid any eye contact. So that is generally true when it comes in general to zoos, to Zoanthus, but especially these, the Palythoas. And then one final topic that I thought I touch is the care level. Well, as you notice by what I've researched, care level is easy. It would be a good starter coral, but always considering, take into consideration of the polytoxins known to be present on this type of coral. Okay, so I went ahead and I moved the camera a little further back to show you what I actually did. I hope you can appreciate, the center point and then dispersing towards the side. Okay, if you noticed on the far right-hand corner where I went ahead right there. If you go to previous videos, you'll notice that right next to where that little tooth stole is at, I had a boulder, a piece of Pucani rock. But I kind of looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and it really didn't look that natural. So what did I do? I went ahead, I remembered the points that I had epoxied it to the remaining parts that you see there, and I took it out. Now on that little boulder that I had, I did have that little tootstool that you're seeing there on the right. So what did I do? What you're noticing now, I went ahead, I got the little tootstool, I glued it there, and I took that boulder out. So now it looks more like a drop off. It looks more natural. It's not as close to the top surface of the water. And I have plans, like let's say on the back. Okay, if you look like, if you're going towards the left and you see the Japanese tootstool, and now it's in the process, of growth, that they close and they shed that film. Okay, right there on the back where that boulder was, there's like a little platform, shall we call it, of rock. So I'm gonna go out on a hunt to find a high-end type of sea fan or gorgonian, because I would be able to anchor it there coming out towards the left, shall we call it. And then I could place other more corals, but I believe now that it's more like a natural type of aquascape. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it informative, fun, and educational. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel. And smash that notification icon. And like I say at the end of all of my videos, happy reefing, thanks for watching, And until next time, bye-bye.